Hey, good morning there, sweet peas. Basic Prepper Mom Myra, and I want to talk about your preparedness and how that plays out in your life and your family. Now, there's a lot that we can be involved in right now. There's just a lot going on in our world, and I've talked about the right fighters before, and I was a right fighter for like 3 years. I was talking at every board meeting. I was fighting. I was, going to protest and marches and walks, and not all of them, but, most of them or a lot of them. And I was doing all of that. And then we kind of got into this lull of everything kind of seemed that it was going back to the normal, so to speak. And I think that was kind of, kids were out of school, it was summer break, whatever the situation. So we kind of had this lull of not really hearing a whole lot, not really doing a whole lot. And I kind of felt like I was a little disassociated from things, which was okay. But now that kids are back in school and there's a whole nother set of issues for parents, things are kind of ramping up. You've got so many things going on. And sorry, something just got in my throat here. Okay. So many things are just trying to distract our attention from everything in the media, everything in House and Congress and Senate and all of the stuff that's going on and rules and laws, blah, blah. There's a lot going on. You've got Zelensky over here asking for more money. You've got, there's just so many distractions going on. And then you hear, well, if we don't fight for this, this is going to happen. If we don't fight for this, this is going to happen. And while I do believe that those right fighters need to still be on the front lines fighting, in my opinion, my personal opinion, we are going to be in a situation where it's not going to change. It is the system. The system is broken. It's not going to change. There is not going to be a savior that's going to come around and be elected that's going to save us, that's going to change things. That's not going to happen. I still think, once again, my opinion, and I'm going to say this till the cows come home, I still think, in my opinion, that we're going to see us divided and split up into either two countries or three. I see actually three separate country areas. And talking to my really good friends, and we started kind of joking about Hunger Games and about the districts. And I was like, that's exactly what I see. So what district are you going to be in? And I said, my only fear is that, they don't tell me where the line's going to be drawn. Like, what side do I want to be on? Do I want to be up here? Do I want to be over there? Where do I want to be? So if y'all could just give me heads up, let me know who's doing what. That way I can figure out where I need to move my family. Anyway, I digress. At this point, it doesn't matter. What's going to happen is going to happen. So what do? We focus on being prepared. That's what we can control. We can't control all this stuff out there, right? We can't control what other people think, say, do, or feel. We can't control what government's going to do. As much as people say, yes, you can, because you can vote and you can do this. No, not really. We can't control what they're going to do. But what we can do is we can control our own self. We can control our preparedness. We can control what we do, think, feel, and see for ourselves, right? And for our families. So we have to be in the best position possible for whatever comes down the line. And to be quite honest, I don't care what happens. I don't care why it's happening, I should say. I don't care where it's coming from. I don't. Because something is going to happen. Doesn't matter what it is. Could be an economic collapse, could be another pandemic, could be a war. I don't care what the catalyst is. The point is, it's going to happen. Am I prepared for what's coming down the line? And is my family prepared? And to be honest, that's all I need to focus on right now. That's all I should be focused on right now. How can I best prepare my family, and what do I need to prepare for whatever? What do I need to have stocked up? That's what we need to be focusing on. Because while we have those right fighters out there, and they still, I do believe that they still need to be making their voice heard. They still need to be doing something out there just to let everybody know that, hey, we're not going anywhere. But as far as myself and my family, I'm going to focus on building a community of people who can help survive what's coming down the line. I'm going to be focused on what my family may or may not need in the coming, I would say coming months, but I'm going to say coming years, because we're talking, I think this is going to go on for a while. And even if something happens, even if that event doesn't happen for long term, whatever that event is that causes us to have to be prepared, that event itself might not last for years, but the aftermath could last for years. So I need to make sure that my family is prepared for the aftermath of whatever's going to happen. And how do we best prepare for that? How do we build our communities so that we can survive, so that we can push through? And I'm going to tell you right now, one of the main reasons, and I think I've probably said this before, one of the main reasons that we want to build this community, that everybody should be building a community around them, it's not necessarily for survival purposes 100%. And that's why I always say, hey, the people in your community, have people that can do a little bit of everything. Have financial people that are in your community. Have IT people who are in the community. And I've actually had people tell me, well, why do you want those guys? Why do you want financial people if we're going to have an economic collapse? Why do you want IT people if there's not going to be any technology, or we get hit with an EMP, or whatever the situation? Well, those people are not just there for your survival at that particular moment. Those people are in your life, or in your community, or in your circle, or whatever, because they can help push forward a new society if we end up in that. Those people can help propel you forward in building your own network of people that you may need when you can no longer rely on everything out here. When you can only rely on your community, you're going to need everybody in there that can do a lot of different things. You're going to need a variety of people. So that's why I always say, hey, don't just get your survivalists. Don't just get your preparedness type people. Don't just get your homesteading type people in there. You need to have other people. You need to have educators in your group. You need to have, like I said, IT people, financial people, communications specialists. I mean, just, you need to have a variety of people in your group, so that if we end up in a split, if we end up with, holy crap, everything's just, we're now totally off the grid, everything's down, there's no government, whatever. Now you have a community that you can still build from. You have a community that you can actually not just survive, but thrive. And I think that's what we all want to do, is not just survive, but we need to be able to thrive going forward, right? So that is what I have to talk about today. Basically, you need to pick and choose. Use your energy, because I really think that we're getting down to the wire on things. Use your energy, use your resources, use your skills as best as you can and as efficiently as you can, and focus on what you and your family need for preparedness. If you're a right fighter that's out there, then hey, I'm behind you. I support you 100%. But don't do everything. Don't be a right fighter. Don't try to prepare. Don't try to go to all these marches and protest. Don't try to talk at every meeting. Don't try, because what happens is you spread yourself so thin that you're now not focusing on your family. You're not focusing on your preparedness. You're not focusing on what you need to focus on to move forward. If you want to pick and choose a couple of those things, absolutely. And if you feel you could do it, that's fine. Me, if I get involved in one thing, it snowballs for me, and I get involved in everything, and I have to be involved in everything. And I don't know how to pull back a little bit. I'm all in. all in, and then it ends up being a detriment to myself. So I am now going to focus on, I will help facilitate as much as I can to other places, but I'm going to focus more on my preparedness and my community and building my community, and that's what I am going to do. So that's what I have to talk about today. Figure out what you are passionate about, figure out what you need to do the most, figure out what you need to focus on the most, and focus on that. Once again, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out. I hope you guys have a wonderful, amazing day, and we'll talk to you later.